All right, today we are diving into a new Google AI feature that is, well, it's a huge game changer, but it's also a little bit controversial. It's called personal intelligence, and the promise is that it can know you so well it could actually help you create your next video. So let's break down what that really means.
Really think about that for a second. Imagine an AI that doesn't just spit out generic answers, but one that actually knows your personal interests, where you've traveled, your creative style, and can help you brainstorm, script, and even dig up photos and clips for your next YouTube video. That's the big idea we're digging into today.
So, first up, this concept of a creator's co-pilot. Look, we all know content creation can be a total grind. You're staring at a blank page, trying to come up with an idea, or you're trying to find that one photo from a trip you took 5 years ago. It's tough. Google's answer to this whole problem is personal intelligence, a feature that's designed to basically be your creative partner, 24/7.
So, what is this thing exactly? Well, personal intelligence is a feature that gives Google's AI, Gemini, a key to unlock and understand all your personal data. And yeah, we're talking about everything: your emails in Gmail, your entire photo library, what you watch on YouTube, and what you search for. This basically transforms Gemini from a generic tool into a personal assistant that actually knows you. And this quote from a Google VP really hits the nail on the head. This isn't just about getting information from the internet faster. It's about using the context of your own digital life to give you help that's totally unique to you. It's like the difference between asking a librarian for a book and asking your best friend for advice, because they already know your whole story. Okay, so let's get practical. How would this actually work? Let's start with what is often the hardest part of making a video: just coming up with the next big idea. How can a personal AI help you get past that dreaded blank page? Picture this: you're a travel vlogger. Instead of asking a generic question like, give me video ideas about Italy, you could ask Gemini something way more specific. Something like, suggest some video topics for a travel doc based on stuff I've been curious about lately. This is where the magic is supposed to kick in. So how does it figure that out? Well, it's not just looking in one place. It's scanning your Google search history and sees you went down a rabbit hole researching ancient Roman aqueducts. It analyzes your YouTube history and sees you've been binge-watching videos about high-speed trains. It might even spot a flight confirmation to Rome in your Gmail. It pulls all that together and suggests something you might never have thought of. How about a video on exploring Italy's ancient aqueducts by train? Pretty cool, right? So, you've got your idea. Awesome. But now comes the grunt work: building the actual story, finding the right photos, the video clips, all the little details that make it compelling. This is where the AI shifts gears from being your creative partner to being your production assistant. Let's just walk through an example based on one of Google's own demos. Let's say you want to make a video about a family road trip to Oklahoma you took years ago. You could just ask Gemini to help you outline it. First, boom, it instantly finds the trip in your Google Photos. Then, to add some real detail to your script, it pulls your exact flight times and even your seat numbers from old confirmation emails in your Gmail. Then it gathers every single photo from that trip, even identifying who's in them using face groups. And finally, it can pull up the research you did way back then on local landmarks to give your narration that extra bit of flavor. All of your assets just organized in seconds.
Now, all of this sounds unbelievably powerful for a creator, doesn't it? But here's the thing: all of this convenience, it comes with a pretty huge catch. We have to talk about the price you pay for this kind of power. And that price, you guessed it, is your privacy.
So Google is really clear about its promises. They say your personal stuff isn't used to train their AI models, that you're in control, and that it's all opt-in. But the reality is a bit more complicated. Privacy advocates and journalists have been raising some serious red flags. Gizmodo flat out called the demo creepy. There are reports that the AI can access your smart home devices even when your phone is locked, and that some of these features are pushed on you with some pretty aggressive prompts to get you to turn them on. So there's a big gap between the official policy and what could actually happen. And this right here is probably the most shocking detail of all. Get this: while you can set most of your data to auto-delete, if any of your AI conversations are flagged for a human to review, they can be stored for up to 3 years. And because they're disconnected from your account to keep them anonymous, you can't delete them, ever. That's a pretty big detail buried deep in the fine print. Now, it's important to remember Google isn't operating in a vacuum here. This whole thing is part of a much bigger battle between the tech giants to build the ultimate AI assistant. So let's zoom out for a second and see how Google's strategy stacks up against the competition.
This table gives us a really great snapshot. Every company is making a different bet. Google is going all in on raw AI power and this massive context window. Apple is betting the entire farm on privacy and doing things on your device. Microsoft is totally focused on productivity with its Office software. And Amazon is leveraging its huge lead in e-commerce and the smart home. And this chart right here shows Google's key advantage. This context window thing is basically the AI's short-term memory. Gemini's ability to process 1 million tokens, that's like an entire 700-page book at once. It absolutely dwarfs competitors like Microsoft's Copilot. This massive memory is the engine that lets it do all that complex thinking across your different apps that we saw earlier.
So let's bring this all home. What we're looking at is incredible, game-changing potential for creators on one side and some really serious privacy concerns on the other. It all boils down to the ultimate trade-off that every single one of us is going to have to think about. This is the core conflict, plain and simple. On one hand, you get this unmatched convenience, a true creative partner that knows your history, your style, and can genuinely help you make things. But on the other hand, you have this unprecedented level of access. You're giving an AI the keys to your entire digital life, your private emails, your family photos, your search history, everything. And that really leaves us with the final question. For you, as a user, as a creator, is that perfect creative partner worth what might just be the ultimate privacy trade-off? There is no easy answer here, but it's the question we're all going to have to face as these AIs get deeper and deeper into our lives. Thanks for watching.